I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Hello everyone and welcome to the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. I'm Sam Steep. In the production truck, James Gordon. I'm solo commentating this game as we have Team Cooey versus Team Brent Pierce. Brent Pierce being the Cinderella story so far this game, or this event, skipping third Matthew Blandford, second Cody Johnson, and lead Nicholas. Playing, obviously, a Kevin Cooey team who's on a downward spiral, looking to make this event a win. Kevin Cooey skip, Aaron Sachinsky third, Tyler Tardy second, and Kark Martin lead. They stole in the extra to beat in the quarterfinal this morning. Kevin Cooey did. Where Brent Pierce took 2 in the 8th to beat Mike McEwen in their quarterfinal. Looking like Team Kevin Cooey won the draw to the button for Hammer. Both of these teams C qualifiers. So they had to draw the button to see who got Hammer, and Kevin Cooey starts. It's a big event for Kevin Cooey this year, making a team change in September or early October. Hasn't really panned out for them yet, but as we know, it does take some time to get used to a team change. They have slipped down to 27th in the world, barely hanging on to a tier 2 spot right now. If you're wondering what I mean by that, is in tier 2 it's ranked 30th and up, 30th to 16th I believe, and right now Cooey's holding on to that spot, trying to make their way back into the Grand Slams as they drifted backwards this year. Grand Slams are typically top 16 teams in the world. Sometimes it's top 18, top 20, depending on the event. As we have some on-ice watchers, those bleachers were packed this weekend. This is a Monday. Most people do work on Mondays, so didn't expect it to be full. But some people braving the cold out on sheet 1 in this men's semifinal here in Swift Current. As we watch both teams trade hits, looking like both teams are okay with the blank in this first end. In our other men's semifinal, we have Matt Dunstone versus Brad Jacobs. Last big 4-person event of the calendar year. And Team Brent Pierce, they call them a Cinderella story, currently ranked 56th in the world. 63 points total. They're going to add at least they're going to be moving up in the ranks. They're going to be pretty close to 40th in the world, even if they lose this game in the semifinal. Team out of BC. The road to the playoffs was a wild one. Defeating Kelly Knapp in their first game. Beating Brad Gushu in their second game. Losing 8-6 to Ryland Kleider in the A semifinal. But bouncing back, beating Reed Carruthers. Then dropping to Brad Jacobs in the B final. Then beating Kelly Knapp again in the C final to qualify for playoffs. And then obviously the upset win over Mike McEwen in the quarterfinal. They are playing well. I was told this morning that they are playing with lots of rocks in play and playing with no fear. Now this end isn't adding up to that, but I'm sure they'll get into it more in the second. Just getting their feet wet. Both these teams with lots to play for, obviously. For the Pierce group, I'm sure these points will go a big way into getting buys to their provincial / points to being ranked higher at their provincial. And I already discussed Kevin Cooey's slipping back, looking to climb back into that Grand Slam rankings. As Brent Pierce settles in the hack. Obviously, Brent being around for a while in the competitive atmosphere, probably been to quite a few BC provincials. I'm sure someone in the chat can let me know the history of Team Pierce. Looks like he brought some young guns to sweep his stones. Thank you, Mark. Team Pierce already qualifying for the provincials in Langley, BC in the new year, looking to punch their ticket to the Briar. Kevin Cooey will be looking to do the same thing, as they obviously don't have a wild card spot. They will have to win their Alberta provincial. If they want to see the Briar. Little panic early on that hit and stick, but good sweeping by Carrick Martin to stick around, make sure that Team Pierce doesn't get a free draw to paint. Pretty typical first end when it comes to a semifinal. Both teams trying to get their feet wet, though this rock does need to move to stick around, and it does. No mistake. By Brent Pierce. And now Kevin Cooey has a blank attempt to keep Hammer going into the second. Needs to make this rock disappear. And not a mistake, so we will have a blank end in our first. Team Cooey will retain the hammer in the second when we come back.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best brew in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Stronger agronomics, better returns, greater peace of mind from pre-seed to post-harvest. You can count on the Victory Canola program to keep you
Welcome back to the RBC Dominion's Western Showdown. I'm Sam Steep. Here in the second end, Team Cooey blanking the first, keeping Hammer in the second. Brent Pierce's first. Team Stone slides to the back 8 foot by Nicholas Umbach. Now looking for a center guard. And now it's going to be game on. I was told Brent Pierce loves to play with rocks and play. I imagine this is what we're going to see. The world rankings get updated, I believe, every Tuesday night. Could be Wednesday morning. To answer your question in the chat, if you have any more questions, please. I'm commentating alone, so you can help commentate with me. Also, like and subscribe to Curling Zone and Curling Stadium, putting on all of these live streams all week long. I say week because it's Thursday to Monday. It's basically a whole week event. Tried to put commentary on as many streams as possible and give you guys as much entertainment as possible. I think Curling Stadium and Curling Zone has done a great job. There also is a 24/7 channel. If you ever get bored or you can't sleep in the middle of the night, you can bring up the 24/7 live stream channel and watch as many games as you want. Learn as much as you want as well. These games that are being streamed are teams best in the world. So please like, comment, subscribe. Show support to Curling Stadium so we can put on more of these events on YouTube. As Kevin Cooey and Tyler Tardy come up light around that draw around the corner. I believe that was Carrick Martin coming up light. Opportunity for Brent Pierce to put this in the top 4 foot buried for Cody Johnston. Slides a little deeper than he wanted, but still threatening enough where Team Cooey will have to make the run back double. Yeah. Makes the run back. Doesn't get both reds out of play, but it doesn't look like that's what they were playing. It looked like they were trying to make the run back and roll to a corner guard as we see a replay. As we will not see a replay. That's okay. So, still advantage Team Pierce. Now they're going to have to draw around a Kevin Cooey stone. And with the hitting ability of Tyler Tardy and Aaron Slaczynski, it's a little scary, but has to be done. Yeah, I believe Megan is right. I do believe the updates to points after events come in on Wednesday. Usually pretty early on the Wednesday. And a great sweep to get that pretty much half buried on the top forefoot. This Team Pierce team playing with a lot of confidence, and they should be. They've already beaten the likes of Carruthers and Gushu and now McEwen in this event. Some of the best teams in Canada. Team Cooey chasing a little bit this end. Needing a good one from Tyler. Not a great outcome by Tyler Tardy. Interesting that they didn't bail out. They carved that rock trying to make the run back the entire time, knowing that it wasn't going to curl up. If they just sweep that straight, it rolls to a corner guard on the other side and isn't in your way. Now it's helping Team Pierce. And if I was a betting man, I would say that this is what Team Pierce has been doing to the top teams in Canada this week. Just boxing them out, putting their guards in good spots. That sliding a little deeper than they wanted from Matthew Blandford. Probably wanted that as a 2-guard zone. Deep enough to where Kevin Cooey should be able to make a run. Might get to tap their yellow on the side into the rings as well. It'll be close. But main objective is to get those 2 rocks off the center line. Those are your problem stones. Doesn't get either. Doesn't tap the yellow in the rings and doesn't make the run back. And it is starting to get messy here for Team Cooey. Brent, Pierce making sure there's no easy angle run back to shot stone. They can't guard everything. Obviously want to guard the port is the first call. If you can guard the port and take away the yellow run back on the right side of your screen, that would be bonus points. Wanting this guard to be a little bit higher than his last one. For Matthew. Sweepers having their broom down this whole time, looking like this might over curl. I don't want this to stop. It does stop in time. Pretty much a perfect guard. As Brent Pierce runs for a little bit of a break, it looks like, before he throws. Decision time for Team Cooey. You can run back either of your yellows still, or play the double peel down the center. The double peel does kind of go right back into the red in the top forefoot, so you could get 2 for 1 here. That's what Aaron Slaczynski's going to try and do. It's about thick half of this rock, should be close. Just like that. Big redemption shot for Aaron. So you could get 2 for 1 here. As you can see, the double peel, about 3/4 to a thick half. You knew it was going to redirect right back into the center. No sweeping. It was basically all throw. Makes it pretty perfect. Now, a little bit of TV timeout right now, maybe, as Brent Pierce is not back yet from whatever he's doing. Probably saying hi to family and friends. Now he's back and sees the situation and realizes he's no longer in as good as a spot as he was before. Going to need to make a hit and roll to keep the force alive. Team Dunstone takes 2 in the first to go up 2-0 over Brad Jacobs. Jacobs does hammer in the second. Obviously, congratulations to Xeni Schwaller, who won our women's event, stealing in the extra over Michelle Inglot. That happened yesterday as the women started their event on the Thursday. The men didn't start till Friday, so they got to play their playoffs today on Monday. I know most of our viewers are multitasking as they are working and watching curling at the same time. I'll try not to tell your bosses. Yeah, a little bit of panic halfway down that shot. They were calling to carve it, and almost it did overcurl a little bit. They would have liked that red to roll another 2 feet, another 1.5 feet more, and then there wouldn't be a double and stick around. So now Team Cooey gets to decide: do you make the double, or do you try and make a hit and roll behind those corner guards? Looks like he's lining up the double. Looking for hit this red one about 3/4 to make the double. They're swept right out of his hand. Looks like this is going to overcurl. Now decision time for Brent Pierce. You have to hit. It's just where you want to roll. If If you roll it to the center line, you're most likely going to see Kevin Cooey might have to draw against 2. Team Pierce looking for the hit and roll. And makes it. Doesn't roll all the way across center like they wanted to, but basically forces Cooey to make the double. Could play a wide draw, but that's even harder than just off nose double. Kevin Cooey's last rock here in the second, looking for just off nose to score his 1. Anything else will be a steal for Team Brent Pierce. Team Pierce controlling this end from start to finish. Looks close. Sweepers off and on. This needs to curl. And it does just in time. It will be 1 point for Team Cooey. They take a 1-0 lead. Brent Pierce will have hammer when we come back.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like 1 more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Join us this March for the House of Hearts Charity Bonspiel in Duluth, Minnesota. Help raise funds for Project Joy, who provides meals for hungry kids in our community. Every donation helps to ensure no child goes hungry. Join us and make a difference. Together, we can spread joy.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Welcome back, everyone, to Swift Current. Here we are in the third end. Team Pierce has hammer after a good force to 1 in the second. As Team Kui throws that tight center guard, Nicholas makes no mistake by putting his rock in the top 4 foot in a perfect position. Brent asking Nicholas to tap and roll under, it looks like, trying to move that yellow to the back 4 foot. Even if you just angle freeze, you put yourself in a pretty good spot. This rock hanging out there. Needs to curl a mile. Not the best tolerance for Nicholas. Actually, wasn't that far off of weight, but the line was way too wide. Certainly a good chance for Kui to draw into a pocket here. Really shrink that scoring area early in this end. Deciding to hit and roll other than drawing, which is, I mean, you're up 1 without. Never a bad idea to eliminate. Maybe trying to get a 2 for 1, trying the hit and roll. Trying to make the hit and freeze. Doesn't quite roll enough, I think. Team Pierce could get as close as they possible to that center guard to make that double. Honestly, picking the center, if you miss an arrow and peel the center guard, it's not the end of the world. Opportunity for Cody here. Hit this just off nose, too early in this end. And it just squeaks out. Great shot. Cody Johnson. Chance for Tyler Tardy to make the double right back. And makes no mistake. That's basically the same double he set up on his Instagram reel series that he does online. On Instagram. Tries to make the double 10 times in a row. Pretty good practice, and it keeps practice fun, I bet. Pretty fun to watch. Team Pierce deciding not to chase. They could have made a hack waiter. Looking to get both of these yellows to disappear. Doesn't quite roll out for Cody. That shot right there most likely means Team Pierce is going to need to switch their objective of blanking to trying to take 2 here. So Aaron Slachinsky being asked to draw around that red center guard. pretty perfect for Aaron. Pretty much buried. Pretty much forces Team Pierce to throw the run back. You would like to dead nose it so both Reds stays in the rings and stays behind cover. And doesn't curl up enough for Matthew. Just like the second end was looking good for Team Cooey, or for Team Pierce to force, this end is looking quite well for Team Cooey to force. Aaron being asked to replace the center guard, and it's going to be their Team Kevin Cooey's color now. Makes the run back less dangerous. Pretty much a perfect center guard. If we get the overhead, we can see how perfect that rock in the top four is. And really, the options are freezing, drawing the back forefoot, or making the run back. You're probably getting forced, so it's important to try and open up the center line so you have a relatively easy shot for one. Right now you got to draw the button, which isn't always the most fun shot to throw in the third end of a game. Looks like they're going to try and throw Hackway through the hole. It'd be a really great shot if this is made for Matthew. Straight out of his hand. Wow. We'll have to see a replay of that. I don't know if it wicked that guard or got perfectly through. Great sweeping. The line was close the entire time, calling to carve, then calling straight right at the end, see if they get through. And they did. Great sweeping. Great shot by Matthew. Blanford. No option but for Kevin to throw his out turn that he loves to throw through this hole. He could make the angle run back. This looks like an awfully hard shot. The intern looked, not saying it was easier, it was a great shot and it was hard to make for Matthew, but the way it curled, it was a little bit of an easier shot. It kind of glided through the hole, where this out turn, it's going the opposite way. It's a much harder line call shot. Aaron's going to have to be sharp here. Well, a little bit of Caster's curse. As I said multiple times, Team Pierce is most likely getting forced this end. now has a chance to hit and sit too. Team Pierce deciding what's the best place to roll. If you hit and roll to the 8 foot, you're probably leaving a crosshouse double to get forced. You don't want to just off nose it because you leave Team Cooey a hit and roll under that center guard. Perfect place to roll would be just biting the edge of the 4 foot. Right where the broom is basically would be the best place to end up. Basically leaves no double and forces Cooey to make a pretty much perfect hit and roll to try and get their force. Team Jacobs ties it up 2-2 after 2 ends. Matt Dunstone has hammered in the third in our other semifinal game. Cody Johnson sweeping this head down right out of Brent Pierce's hand. Going to overcurl just a smidge. Still a pretty good shot. No double. As Aaron Slaczynski just pointed out, those are his 2 options. You can hit and freeze, or you can hit and roll behind the yellow guard. Deciding on the hit and roll. I think you can. You have 2 options. I don't think you can roll and be shot stone behind the yellow. If you're being shot, you're probably showing at least half of the shot rock. So my guess is if you roll all the way to in front of the red on the back of the button would be perfect. It would really shrink that scoring area and make it virtually impossible to score 2. Kevin doing his patent and think about if this is the right call in the hack. He's convinced. Looking for the hit and roll, hit and freeze to try and get his team out of this end by only giving up 1. Pretty precise shot. And makes it pretty perfectly. It is shot stone. And with that center guard blocking the draw tap for 2, Brent Pierce is going to be forced to 1. Just whether he wants to draw or whether he wants to hit for his 1 point. A lot of teams would hit here. being basically a nose hit for their 1 point. Brent deciding he likes the draw, needs at least half of the button for his 1 point here in the third. As Brent Pierce settles in the hack. Last rock. Needs a bite of the pin. Sweeper's had brooms down right out of his hand. They've been on and off it, which is normally a good indication. This is curling quite a bit. This needs to stop right on the tee line for it to stay shot rock. And I think that's good enough. Looks like one red to me. Team Pierce ties it up 1-1. Team Cooey will have hammer when we come back.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Saskatchewan, you know Sasktel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With Sasktel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. Sasktel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.
Welcome back, everyone, here at Swift Current at the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. My name's Sam Steep. We have James Gordon running the production here at Curling Stadium. You're watching on Curling Zone's YouTube channel. Please like, comment, subscribe. Ask me any questions as I am commentating alone in this men's semifinal. Team Cooey has hammer. Tied in the fourth. Nicholas looking for this route to stop above the rings. Looks like it's going to slide right into the top 8 foot. A little deeper than they would have liked. Kark Martin looking to draw around the corner guard he just threw up. Set up Team Cooey's 2 points here in the fourth end. And this is decision time. We've seen teams like John Epping and Mike McEwen throw the back line, hack, wait, chase around the rock that's buried and try to eliminate it and sit 3. We've also seen teams throw the center guard as Brent Pierce is doing right now. It's a very interesting strategy with the 5 rock rule. The 5th stone at the end is many teams play it differently. And that's the fun part of our sport. As Tyler Tardy makes this peel, this is decision time for Brent Pierce. Do you keep throwing up the center guard, knowing that Team Cooey will probably make a run back at some point in this end? Or do you peel the corner and hit and roll over to center? You could do 2 for 1, though those hit and rolls are very difficult. Deciding on the guard, which I like. Cody just threw this. Should have a pretty good understanding of what weight he needs. And perfectly placed stone by Cody Johnston. With Aaron Slaczynski's hitting ability, I imagine, and Tyler Tardy's, I imagine at least one run back will be made. Pretty good outcome for Tyler Tardy. Got one of the reds. Rolls a shooter to a corner guard, and that red one that's left in the top 8 foot is still exposed. Pretty much no choice but to throw the center guard up. The only other option is running the yellow into the corner and rolling to a center guard, but pretty high difficult shot there. Looking for a center guard just off the center line to guard the current shot zone. Really no secret to this strategy of trying to box the other team out. Needs this to sit. It does. It's pretty much a perfect center guard. Pretty hard to run it back. Team Kui trying to keep it simple and just make the double peel. Now, Team Pierce are discussing their options. Just similar to 4 or 5 rocks ago, they either could make the run back and roll to center or throw the center guard. And Brent Pierce deciding to talk with his teammates about it. Doesn't surprise they need to have a little bit of a meeting with this. It's only 2 options, and Matthew just threw the center guard. Can't be scared of monsters under the bed. You understand that Kevin Kui is a great hitting team, but Matthew just threw the center guard. It'd be hard for me not to call the center guard again. But that's why I'm sitting in the chair and they're on the ice. There's a great side angle of the rings. Now the team of 2 now joins a third player, waiting for all 4 of them to start talking about this. Nicholas just sitting in the back, cleaning the path, patiently waiting for a decision. Pretty interesting to talk about this as long as they are. For basically just 2 options. I guess the third option would be the backline hack waiter. But maybe Skip isn't fully convinced guard's the call. This commentator is. Nick is usually quiet. Thanks, Mark Johnson. Easy enough. Team Pierce deciding against me, deciding to play the run back. You can get 2 birds with 1 stone. You can make the run back and roll to the center line. Would be a pretty great outcome for them. The bonus of the run back is if you do peel it out like Matthew just did, you might be able to make a double to blank this end. But Kevin Kui's going to try and do everything in his power not to let that happen. And Team Pierce get basically the best outcome they could have had with just peeling that corner guard. Was pretty much a quarter rock double to most likely blank this end. Kevin's so positive that Brent Pierce is going to make this that he's already down there ready to make the open hit and blank this end. Brent needs it out of the quarter of the rock, not. No mistake. Team Pierce looking like going to blank, get the blank out of this end after they talked for quite a while over whether they wanted to throw the center guard or try and make the run back. Team Kevin Cooey had a chance to hit and roll and separate their stones as much as possible, but just nosed it. And that's how you get a blank end. Team Jacob steals one in the third, goes up 3-2 over Team Dunstone after 3 ends of play. Brent looking to hit this right on the nose. Maybe roll to the inside a bit. Make Kevin Cooey's blank attempt as hard as possible. Oh, that rock curled. Lucky to make contact with some good sweeping. And now Kevin Cooey just gets to throw it through the rings here in the fourth end. And it'll be tied 1-1 after 4. Team Cooey will retain the hammer going into the fifth. We'll be right back after these short commercial break.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
we asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Welcome back, everyone, to the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown as we give you a score update. Brad Jacobs up 3-2 over Matt Dunstone. Matt Dunstone does have hammer in our other men's semifinal, and our matchup tied 1-1 after 4. Team Pierce, every end proving why they're in the semifinal as the quote-unquote Cinderella story. They've played a great weekend here so far, beating some of the best teams in Canada. Cooey looking to rewrite his season, dropping back to 27th in the world, looking to move upwards back into that Grand Slam spot. If Team Cooey wants to make the Brier this year, it will have to be by winning the Alberta Provincials. They are not in contention for the wild card spot, for the last wild card spot. Great sweep to get that by Team Pierce. Now Kevin Cooey asking Kark to corner freeze this stone. Looking like it needs to slow down. And, taps it about a foot and a half and still leaves a great angle for Team Cooey. Brent Pierce looking to see how he can shrink the scoring area. Really important to keep the correct angles against a team that is so good at hitting like Kevin Cooey. Yeah, your two options were freeze the back yellow one in the back 4 foot or corner freeze the yellow in the top 8 foot. They decided on the corner freeze the yellow in the top 8, which I like. You bounce. It's all angles, really. So if you bounce off, if you tap that yellow just a little bit, not that big of a deal, as long as you're on the inside half of it. Cannot miss this wide. Needs to cross the face here of the rock in the top 8 foot. Love to basically split center line. And that rock coming up about 3-4 feet light. Perfect line. That's the line you wanted. You just wanted to be frozen to the yellow. 3 feet light. Now, if this double run could eliminate 3 red stones. There is a little risk to it. Maybe that's why Kevin was talking about it a little bit, was the fact that if you do hit it too thin, you could jam and leave 2 piercing stones on the center line. Just misses it too thick. Leaves a Kevin Cooey Stone as a center guard. Though it does move it over just a little bit. And now, Team Piercy deciding to hit and roll, not loving the angles on the front. They could guard, but I think the last thing you want to do if you're Team Piercy is blank this end. It's a pretty good hit and roll. Does leave an opportunity for Team Cooey to hit and sit too if they wanted to. And with Tyler Tardy's hitting ability, making a run double was pretty much a great outcome. Brent Pierce looking to hit and roll behind that center guard by Matthew Blandford. Doesn't quite roll far enough. And now Team Cooey setting up to maybe take three. Wendy McKay asking, is Pierce a Tier 2 team that is knocking on the door, so to speak? They are currently ranked 56th, and Tier 2 is top 30th, so they are kind of knocking on the door of Tier 2. They're having a great event today, and this will certainly move them up the rankings. I think if they do lose this semifinal, they'll probably move up to around 40th in the world. Someone in the chat saying that Brent Pierce has won the Brier earlier in his career. Now skipping a young team. They already have a provincial spot at the BC Provincials, looking to win the BC Provincials to make the Brier. But Matthew Blandford missing light on that freeze attempt, and now Team Pierce is in a decent amount of trouble. in a pretty much perfect draw from Aaron Slaczynski, and Brent Pierce is in a lot of trouble right now. Might give up 3 or 4. Those yellows in the top 4 foot basically placed perfectly. Yeah, as people said in the chat, Brent Pierce won the 2000 Labatt Brier. His last appearance at the Brier was in 2009. Looking to make the road back to the Brier this year. Oh, and he won in 2022. My bad. And he represented BC at the Brier in 2022 as well. So he broke the curse back in 2022. There was a long gap between 2009 and 2022. But back to focusing on this end, in a lot of trouble. Going to need to make a perfect freeze or a freeze tap. Try and set up a shot to where he can force Cooey to only score 2. After a pair of Matthew Blandford misses this end, has put in Team Pierce in a sticky situation. Brent Pierce looking for a corner freeze to shrink that scoring area. Right now, Team Cooey set up for a multiple score here in the 5th. On this line, they can't bounce. They're going to go by everything and freeze to the rock in the back of the 4 foot. They are currently sitting second shot. I'm not sure if that's what they called or not, but with that being a little heavy, that is the outcome that happened. Better than chipping off the rock in the top 4 foot, that's for sure. Decision time for Kevin Cooey now. Looking like they're playing the backline hack weight tap to sit 3 is my guess. They're basically secured 1 point unless Kevin Cooey throws a 0 this end. Dunstone takes 1 and 4. That game is tied up 3-3 after 4 ends. Brad Jacobs now has hammer in the 5th. And yes, Team Cooey has decided on the backline hack waiter. Tap that red, sit 3 in the 4-foot. Team Pierce not out of trouble yet. I think they'd be happy to only give up 2 in this situation. As Kevin settles in. Very much a team shot here. Probably wants to hit it as thick as you can. And doesn't make it. And maybe the miss Brent Pierce needed to get out of this end. They're talking about it, but I think there's no option other than to corner freeze the yellow shot stone. Is Team Cooey talking about that miss? So, lots of ice here. I think they're deciding to freeze to their back red one. Maybe the safer play. If you try to corner freeze that yellow on the top of the button, you might bounce off and leave a double for 4 or 5 and basically the win. No matter what, this needs to be somewhere in the 4-foot area and not leave a double is the main goal of this shot. Oh, and this is coming up light. Probably leaves 2 different shots. You can throw the heavy draw tap for 2, maybe 3 or 4, depending on how far you can tap that. The jam looks like the tap would only be for 2. They're going to get Tyler's young eyes in here to see if there's enough space for 3 or 4 by just playing the tap. The up there option is a peel weight double into the pocket and hope the red spins up and out for 3 or 4. I don't know if there's enough space to tap that red back far enough to score 3 or 4. And that's what the team's discussing. Actually, it's interesting. Team Cooey would probably not feel awesome about only taking 2 after how the end looked for most of this end. Team Cooey taking their time trying to figure out what the best option is. Does Kevin not understand this is last rock? Yes, surely he does. I don't know why he was tapping the top 4 foot there. Looks like they're deciding on tapping the red, trying to score more than 2. Looks like they might need to get across the face. It'll be awfully close. Obviously, pretty hard to not score at least 2. You could miss this pretty wide and in off your own yellow and score 2. Kevin Cooey. Last rock here in the 5th. Looking for a tap for 3 or 4. And to open this game up. That looked like a very big outward motion from Kevin. Being very patient with the sweep here. There it goes, trying to curl as much as possible. Does it tap far enough for more than just 2, and it doesn't. It's going to be 2 yellow for Team Cooey. They do take a 3-1 lead. Team Pierce will have hammer going in the 6th when we come back.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Welcome back, everyone, to the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. My name is Sam Steep. James Gordon on production. As we are here streaming live Curling Stadium to the Curling Zone YouTube. Team Cooey takes a big 2 points in the fifth end. They were looking like they were going to score 3 or 4, especially after Brent Pierce came up light on his last. But guarded the red in the back enough to where it was pretty much impossible to score 3 or 4. Team Cooey maybe feels they scored 2. They should be happy. They're up 3-1, but missed opportunity to really open up the game. Brent Pierce probably pretty happy they only gave up 2. As Nicholas makes no mistake, makes the 2 corner guards. One's pretty wide to the wings, but pretty much mission accomplished. Just keeping up with the chat. It is nice to see what I consider tier 3 teams. What I mean by that is anyone ranked 30th and higher, which currently Brent Pierce is, playing up against these top-level competitive teams in Tier 1. They've already beaten Gushu and McEwen this week, and Reed Carruthers. I know I've mentioned it a few times, but it's a pretty awesome accomplishment. They're looking to ride this momentum into scoring 2 here in the 6th, tie this game up. Both number of teams making changes midway through the season. Team Dunstone, Team Gushu, Team Carruthers. Team Cooey was the first domino to fall, releasing Jacques Gauthier early in the season, only after 2 or 3 events. Picking up Aaron Stachinski. Hasn't been the best transition for Team Cooey yet. Dropping down to 27th in the world and still in a tier 2 spot, but not in that Grand Slam standings yet. Looking to find their groove here by making a final. They're put themselves in a pretty good spot, up 3-1 after 5. I'm sure Team PC has a lot to say about that, though. Kevin, they wanted to roll about half buried behind those 2 corner guards after Tyler Tardy tried to choke off the corner guard on his first and came up light. Now an opportunity for Brent Pierce to hit and roll and sit one buried behind the corner guards. They don't want to roll this too far or it'll be a pretty short yellow run back. They're trying to just roll it behind the yellow, and that does over curl for Team Pierce and does stick around on the edge of the 12 foot. And that one over curls and hits and rolls out. Both teams having half shots these last two shots. Now, Team Pierce deciding to do this wide draw, which if you're sitting at home and you're like, in league, I would never draw around these corner guards this wide. It just goes to show how awesome the ice conditions here are at Swift Current. Not typical to draw the wing and for it to be a better path, though this is going to overcurl for your Team Pierce. But usually in most clubs, that path gets super frosty and it's much, much slower. But here at Swift Current, it was not slow. It just overcurled. And now Team Kui has a decision. You could double peel and roll to the center or draw a top 8 foot. This is Vice's, Aaron Slachinski's last rock at the end, so I don't hate the draw. And after Aaron makes a perfect draw to the top 8 foot, Brent asking Matthew to make the same draw, try to draw T-line behind all 3 of those stones, but does slide too far. Be very difficult to bring that rock into play. Right now there is a double, so we could. The safe call would be to hit or freeze that red in the back 12, as Aaron is suggesting. Chance for Team Cooey to sit 3 here. Try not to set up a triple. It doesn't look like they did. Oh, it leaves a stagger. Brent Pierce can hit and roll here behind those yellows and sit 1 buried in the edge of the forefoot. Could bring 3 into play if Kevin just throws a hit and flashes. We'll have a double for 3 if that happens. Big opportunity here for Brent Pierce in an end where it looked like they were going to get forced the entire time. If he makes a perfect hit and roll to the edge of the forefoot behind those yellow staggers, has a chance to put some pressure on Team Cooey here in the 6th. All game for Team Pierce, this hit and roll has over curled on them. And I spoke it back into existence a little bit. Not the best line call by Matthew Blandford, and he kind of knows it. And already said sorry. Tell me you're Canadian without telling me you're Canadian. And just like that, a chance for Kevin Cooey to hit and roll to behind the staggered and make Team Piercy draw the button against 3. Has to be careful. If he doesn't roll too far, he might leave a nose triple for 2, which I'm sure Team Piercy will look at as much as possible. Looking for this rock to curl. So far, it's just on nose. It makes the double, so obviously Team Piercy not going to overcomplicate this. Nose hit for 1. Pretty much must make. Here in the 6th end. Team Piercy fans, I wouldn't give up. Even down 1 without in 7, if they get a force, they'll have a chance to score 2 or 3 and 8 to win or tie the game. So this is a must make, though. Last rock here in 6. Brent Pearson needs to hit and stay in the full 8-foot for his 1 point. On it, pretty much out of his hand. Cody Johnson just cleaning now as Brent Piercy makes the hit for 1. Team Kui takes a 3-2 lead, and we'll have a hammer going in the 7th when we come back.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Welcome everyone back to the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. I'm Sam Steep, James Gordon in the production van, so to speak. Probably on a laptop in his living room. I am on my desktop in my room. That's the beauty of technology and the beauty of Curling Stadium. We can commentate anywhere in the world. Please like, comment, subscribe. Ask me any questions in the chat. Curling Zone and Curling Stadium putting on an awesome show here this week. Already have an event in Alberta in the new year lined up to do the exact same thing. The more you watch, like, and subscribe, the more events we can do here. As Team PRC looking to throw the double center guard. Nicholas making no mistake. Both of them a little high, but after his one rock ended as a 2-guard zone, it's tough to make a 2 center guards and not make an easy double peel. No secret that Team Pierce needs to either steal or force take 2 or 3. That's why they threw the double centers. Big sweep by Team Kui just to get that rock in the rings for Kark. Though that yellow in the top 12 basically acts as a center guard for Team Piercy. Chance to make this freeze tap. Try to shrink that scoring area down. Move that yellow out of a good spot that it's in right now. Wow, what a great line call. They got as close as they could to that center guard. Taps it probably farther than they wanted. They probably would have liked just that yellow stop in the back 8, back 4 foot. But currently shot rock buried. Mission accomplished for Cody Johnson. Now time for Tyler Tardy to make both of these reds disappear. Could touch all 3 of them if it's made perfectly. And only gets the 1. Starting to look like a nice opportunity for Team Pierce to draw the top 4 foot here. Sit 2 behind a center guard. Sweeper's calling that it is not close for the draw. Looking for it to curl as much as possible to at least be usable. And that kind of ends in a pretty bad spot. If Tyler Tardy can cross the face, all 3 reds are going to go here, unfortunately for Cody Johnston. Almost feels like a shot to win the game. I know it's only a 1-point game, but this would deflate Team Pierce a little bit. But Tyler misses it. Pretty 2 uncharacteristic misses by Tyler. Only getting the single peel. Those doubles were definitely makeable for a player of his caliber. A little surprising by Team Piercy not throwing the center guard. I guess they don't want to set up the same shot. They don't think Team Cooey's going to miss it for a 3rd time. Deciding to draw the back 8 foot. Sweepers don't want to touch this for weight. Okay, Team Pierce sitting 2, both in the 8 foot. Not super dangerous stones, but I don't think Kevin wants to be throwing a draw against 2 or 3 in this end. So now he needs to decide what is his best option. Is it the nose on the red guard, get rid of 2 reds and leave your yellow sitting 2nd, 3rd in the house? I think that is the call. Kevin Cooey means business now, takes the hood off. Big double here for Aaron Slaczynski. Just off nose, going to get rid of 2 reds, and yellow will be sitting second, third. Match over curls on Aaron a little bit. Leaves the 2 guards staggered, and Brent Pierce is shot rock in the back 8-foot. Doesn't really change the end that much, other than advancing the yellow into sitting second shot, second, third. Big chance here for Matthew. Put this on the edge of the 4-foot buried would be perfect. Big sweep here by the 2 young guns on the team, trying to get this to the edge of the 4, and they do. That's pretty much perfect. Now Team Pierce sitting 1-2. In our other game, Brad Jacobs blanks the 6th, takes a 3-3 game into the 7th with hammer over Matt Dunstone. No option for Team Cooey. Going to need to try and move some granite here. Wants to hit about a thick quarter of that red in the tight guard zone to send it back into the other shots. It's close. No mistake. That is the not so fun part about playing against a team that just doesn't miss hits that much. You look like you're in a good spot, and all of a sudden they just get rid of 3 stones. Aaron Slaczynski making a great shot. Team Kevin Cooey sitting shot stone and 3rd shot. They need to be careful not to leave an easy double. If you nose it, Kevin will have an opportunity to hit a just off nose double to sit 2. Giving up 2 might be, doesn't mean game over, but makes your job a lot harder going into the 8th if you're Team Pierce. So you're going to want to hit and roll basically right in front of the red that is in the back 8-foot. Brent Pierce looking for a hit and roll to sit 2. Needs to stay in the 8-foot, and it's going to. Kevin has a chance to make this slash double. Hits it perfect. That's going to be a very lonely Team Cooey Rock in the back 12. If this is made, you're basically securing a blank end, unless Brent Pierce can make a perfect freeze on the yellow in the back 12-foot. Kevin Cooey. High hard one. Looking to get rid of 2 reds on his first here in the 7th. And makes no mistake. I think on the last 2 stones, there's been 6 rocks eliminated. Pretty wild. And Brent Pierce not even toying with the idea of freezing to the rock in the back 12. With Kevin Kui's hitting ability, it's most likely going to be a blank anyway, so you might as well just hit and try to steal an 8. And no mistake by Brent Pierce. Kevin with the opportunity to blank the end. Here in the 7th and take a 1-point lead into 8 with hammer. As Kark Martin makes sure the path is clean. Last rock here in the 7th. Looking to make that lonely red disappear. Doesn't look panicked, and it does. It'll be a blank end. Team Kui up 3-2 with hammer, going into the 8th when we come back.
Stronger agronomics, better returns, greater peace of mind from pre-seed to post-harvest. You can count on the Victory Canola program to keep you.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Sasktel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? Sasktel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Welcome back here to the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. I'm Sam Steep, James Gordon, and the production van. Here in the 8th end, Team Kui up 3-2 with hammer over Team Pierce. Sweeper's heads down right out of his hand, out of Nicholas's hand. Needs this to be over the hog line. And great sweeping effort by Cody Johnston and Matthew Boulding. As most of you may know, there's a no-tick rule if the rock is on the center line, where that rock currently is. So Team Kui only has 2 options: throw it through or put this rock in the top 4 foot. Asking Kark to put it in the top 4, or asking Kark to throw through. There you go. There is a a saying that any rock in play is a good rock for the team trailing. And that's exactly what I believe as well. And that's why it's a pretty good call just to throw that through. And now, to no surprise, asking Cody to throw the tight center guard. I do see that stone was eliminated, so it looked like over the commercial break, Nicholas threw his first stone into the rings, or hogged it, one of the two, and Team Cooey eliminated it. Needs to get this by that center guard, and it's not going to. And if you count the rocks in play, there's been 5 thrown stones, so Team Cooey and Tyler Tardy basically a double peel to win the game if this is made. Big shot for Tyler. Missed 2 double peels last end. Looking for some redemption. And he gets it. And a little bit of clap on the ice from the fans trying to stay warm. I say that's basically a shot for the win because Team Pierce has no guards in play and Team Cooey's up 1 with hammer, so they don't even need to hit and stick around. They just need to make contact with the last 5 stones being thrown here by Team Pierce. Team Pierce looking, they need a 0 from Team Kevin Cooey now. They need to flash to have a chance to steal here. Update you of our other semifinal. Team Jacobs takes 2, goes up 5-3 over Team Dunstone. Team Dunstone has hammer in 8. Obviously, you can catch that live stream on Curling Zone. We're streaming both games with commentary. And Tyler makes no mistake and makes that center peel. And this is where sometimes you might want to, I know you're wishing at this point, but you can move that guard anywhere else. It doesn't have to be on the center line. You could put it on the 4-foot lines. You can put it in as a corner guard. Just move it around. Give optically makes the other team throw different handles, different paths. Might get a miss. But that's all they can do at this point after a guard sliding into the rings and a double peel made by Tyler Tardy. The Team Pierce fans are cheering for a miss from Team Kevin Cooey. Aaron's not looking to give them that, though. So he makes no mistake, makes the peel. Big momentum builder for both teams making this semifinal. Kevin Cooey looking to get back on track. Team Brent Pierce looking to go from 56th in the world up to close to that Tier 2 pre-trials area in points. Obviously, good momentum builder for Team Pierce heading into their BC playdowns in the beginning of the new year. Obviously not counting them out yet, but they do need a miss. Or at least one miss from Team Cooey. Needs 2 misses to get the steal. As that rock just gets over the hog line. They're really making those young guys sweep. No mistake from Aaron as Brent takes his time to put his glove and his hack and his gripper down at the home end. We do have our men's final right after this game, obviously, at 4 p.m. local time, 5 East. I unfortunately won't be commentating it, but we have two awesome commentators in Dave Schmel and Sean Joyce doing our final after a long week here in Swift Current. Of course, our women's champion, Xena Schwaller. Women's final was last night. They started on the Thursday. The men started on the Friday. If you ever want to rewatch any shots, Curling Zone has a 24/7 curling coverage live stream running. You can go back and learn what the best teams in the world do, strategy-wise, sweeping-wise, how they throw the rock. You can learn a lot just by watching. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Lets us cover more and more events on YouTube. As Kevin Cooey looking to make this single peel, and that will secure him to have an open hit for the win. Brent Pierce not even staying at the home end, getting Matthew to figure out where they want their last rock to be. No matter where they put it, Kevin Cooey's going to be throwing an out-turn at it. Brent Pierce's last rock in the 8th end needs a piece of the paint and then needs a slash. Needs a flash, not a slash, sorry. Needs to be in the rings or Kevin doesn't even need to throw his stone. Sweeper's digging deep. And it's not going to be in the rings, and that will be handshakes. Team Cooey advances to our final here at the RBC Dominion Securities event in Swift Current. Congratulations on Brent Pierce making the semifinal. On a great run, they beat a lot of great teams, including Mike McEwen in the quarterfinal. Team Cooey will play the winner of Jacobs versus Dunstone. You can catch that live stream on our other channel. I've been Sam Steep, James Gordon in production. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you at the final at 5 o'clock Eastern Time.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice bat has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best brew in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.